are here! The aliens are here! I can't help myself. What's going? Oh God, I can't believe that the Daily Mail decided to drop something about aliens. And if you're wondering why am I using the Daily Mail today, because the Daily Mail is the Daily Mail. It's only the most interesting website on the planet with the most interesting articles. But anyways, so here in this headline I have here, CIA docs claim life did exist on Mars and it was a population of very large people who built pyramids. So this actually interested me because I see this and I'm like, well, I've heard different theories. And I'm somebody who's always been interested in space travel. I would love to go see other planets. Unfortunately, I am not born into the lifespan to go visit other planets. However, in this case here, I always want to see what it's about. Maybe I can find something. But maybe the Daily Mail can help us because, I mean, life on Mars would be cool. Am I right? And I know some of y'all like know the Martian from Looney Tunes, but sadly, I don't believe that they're the aliens. But anyways, I want to read some of this article because it's actually really fascinating me because I'm somebody, like I said, I like space travel. So what does the Daily Mail have to offer me today? So I'm actually going to start getting right into it because here it says, while NASA is searching for life on Mars, a CIA document claims it was found 40 years ago. This report, Mars Exploration, May 22nd, 1984, details how the agency used astral projection, the idea that a person's spirit can travel through astral planes to transport a subject to Mars approximately 1 million years BC. Oh my God, sorry. Oh my God. Well, so since you brought an astral projection, you lost me. What? Bro, I can project myself to the universe. You ever see like a horror movie or like a ghost movie where you see the person's outside their body or something? That's my image right here. Astral projection. Okay, I'm sorry. Alright. The study was part of Project Stargate, a secret U.S. Army unit established in 1977 that focused on anomalous phenomena, including remote viewing, telepathy, and psychokinesis. And that's moving stuff with your mind. Participants were exposed to sounds like binaural beats and hemi-sync audio to induce states of consciousness and promote psychic abilities. The experiment's subject was transported to the planet during the specified war, reporting an oblique view of a pyramid in a very large road, with a monument similar to those known among ancient Egyptians on Earth, the report claims. Division then shifted to a population of a very large people searching for a new place to live because their environment was corrupted. I'm sorry, I had to pause for a minute. Project Stargate was the US government's new weapon against the Soviet Union aimed at creating mind-reading spies who could infiltrate the minds of its enemies. The classified conducted at Fort Meade in Maryland, recruiting men and women who claimed to have extrasensory perception, ESP, to help uncover military and domestic intelligence secrets. Okay, now that was a lot to digest. There's more to this article, but I believe that's mostly what I need from here because I mean it just kind of keeps going and going and going. Okay, jokes aside. So if you might be asking yourself, why the hell would the CIA, well, according to this document, allegedly want to just look through like mind controlling or astral projection? Because let me tell you something, all right? The CIA will spend money on a lot of dumb stuff, and same with every single like government agency, and especially if I recall during this time period, it was the Cold War. So basically, the United States and the Soviet Union were trying to one up each other no matter what it was, even if the project was ridiculous. I believe there was a project where it was what did you call it? Where they were trying to test like military dolphins. I know it doesn't sound like the smart idea, but yeah, they were trying with military dolphins. There's a lot of other projects, but that's the one that's most notable, at least in my mind as of this moment. But just go look, just comb through all the stuff. Governments will spend millions of dollars, or sometimes even up to the billions, in order to find exactly what they're looking for, or to find some kind of one-up, even if the project goes nowhere. So, to me, I'm not surprised, but I actually want to show you guys something. And I actually have the Mars Exploration document here. So it says here, Mars Exploration, May 22nd, 1984. And guess what? It was approved for release in 2000. So, just to let you know, it's been around for a while. Now, I'm not going to go through all of it. I'm just trying to get through some of it because I actually want to take a look here. Just give me a second here and I'll detail some really interesting stuff that I find. Okay, so now we're actually going to read through it because it is a bit much, but I actually want to read it. So feel free to put this part at 4 times speed if you want. So anyways, here you have plus 10 minutes ready to start. All right, now using the information in the envelope I provided, exclusively focusing on your attention now using the information in the envelope. Focus on 40.89 degrees north and 9.55 degrees west. I want to say it looks like, I don't know, it sort of looks, I kind of got an oblique view of a pyramid or pyramid form. It's very high. It's kind of sitting in a large depressed area. All right, it's yellowish, aqua colored. All right, move in time to the time indicated in the envelope I provided you and describe what's happening. I'm tracking severe clouds, more like dust storm. It's geologic problem. Seems to be like just a minute. I've got to iron this out. It's really weird. Just report your raw perceptions at this time. You're still early on in the session. I'm looking at a after effect of a major geologic problem. Okay, go back to the time before the geologic problem. Total difference. It's before there's no I don't know. Oh hell, it's like mountains of dirt appear and then disappear when you go before. See large flat surfaces, very smooth angles, walls. They're really large enough. I mean, they're megalithic. All right. At this period in time before the geological activity, look around in and around this area and you see if you find any activity. I'm seeing it's like a perception of a shadow of people, very tall, thin. It's only a shadow. It's as if they were there and they're not there anymore. Go back to a period of time where they are there. It's like I get a lot of static on a line and everything. It's breaking up all the time. Very fragmentary pieces. Just report the raw data. Don't try to put things together. Just report the raw data. I just keep seeing very large people. They appear thin and tall and they're very large, wearing some kind of strange clothes. All right. Now holding in this time period, I want to move from your physical location in space to another physical location in this time period. Now to 4.46.5 north, 353.22 east. Now in this time to 46.45 north and 353.22 east. Deep inside of a cavern, not a cavern, more like a canyon. I'm looking up the sides of a steep wall that seems to go on forever, and there's like a structure with it's like the wall of the canyon itself has been carved. Again, I'm getting a very large structures. No intricacies. Huge developments of smooth stone. Do the structure have insides and outsides? Yes, they're very, it's like a rabbit warren. Corners of rooms, they're like really huge. I don't feel like I'm standing out in one of its just really huge perception is that the ceiling is very high, walls very wide, real time plus 22 minutes. Yes, that would be correct. All right, I'd like to move now to another location nearby. All right, move from this point in this time to, and it just keeps going on and on. So it kind of just keeps like if you actually read it yourself, like I'll link it below if you want to read all of it. But it's just showing here like various observations that the people had, allegedly had seen from this whole stuff. And I'm going to make this like very interesting for you guys, but essentially the way that life was quote unquote confirmed was through a way that you don't have any tangible evidence, which is kind of like, even if you're told about something or you can see something, who knows if these were just like schizophrenic victims, but this does not confirm the life on Mars that they're seeing. So I don't know how the CIA ended up getting on their hands on this. So it's actually pretty, but I actually want to show you guys something a bit more tangible before we get going. Okay, so here I have for you guys what NASA actually found on Mars. So here we have something called like a Mars rover, and just a really Cliff Notes version. Mars rovers are essentially just robots or machines that they control that they'll drive around Mars, and they literally go there to stay permanently, which is what happens because once you go to Mars, it's basically a one-way trip. So they usually just send robots down to go and take observations. So here I have this article here from NASA. It says Curiosity finds evidence of persistent liquid water in the past. And in case you're wondering, liquid water just means that organisms can live like organisms like us. It's possible. But just after landing, Curiosity found smooth rounded pebbles that likely rolled downstream for at least a few miles in a river that was ankle to hip deep. When Curiosity reached Mount Sharp, the team found that 1,000 vertical feet of rock formed originally as mud at the bottom of a series of shallow lakes, rivers, and lakes persisted in Gale Crater for perhaps 1,000,000 years or longer. So, if you actually remember from the document, it actually said roughly 1,000,000 years ago is when life was found, which is kind of an interesting, but unfortunately, that's not a conspiracy we'll go into for today. Now, it says here actually Mars is a suitable home for life. For the Curiosity found that ancient Mars had the right chemistry to support living microbes. Curiosity found sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon key ingredients necessary for life in the powder sample drilled from sheetbed mudstone in Yellowknife Bay. The sample also reveals clay materials and not too much salt, which suggests fresh, possibly drinkable water once flowed there. Organic carbon rocks found in Mars rocks. Organic molecules are the building blocks of life, and they were discovered on Mars after a long search by the Sample Analysis at Mars (SAM) instrument in several samples drilled from Mount Sharp and the surrounding plains. The findings don't necessarily mean there is past or present life on Mars, but it shows that raw ingredients existed for life to get started there at one time. It means that organic materials can be preserved for us to recognize and study today. And mind you, okay, I know people kind of might confuse this, but just for clarity's sake, sometimes when they say life might have existed, sometimes it refers to things like what you call it, like bacteria, which is a life form. Bacteria could live there, or maybe living organisms. But as I'm showing you right now, when it comes to this particular Mars rover, they did not find anything of that sort. But there is supporting evidence. Now, of course, if you look into what Mars's chemistry is and what its atmosphere is made of, it's a little difficult for life to live there, but this ain't a science class. I'm just going through this. And so exactly, and the last thing I'll show here is present and active methane in Mars' atmosphere. The tunable laser spectrometer within SAM instrument detected a seasonal varying background level of atmospheric methane and observed a tenfold increase in methane over a 2-month period. The discovery of methane is exciting because methane can be produced by living organisms or by chemical reactions between rock and water. For example, which process is producing methane on Mars? What caused the brief and sudden increase? And as you can see here, you're seeing the different stuff that will create methane in the picture. And of course, there's a lot of other stuff like radiation risks, a thicker Mars atmosphere, more water in Mars past, yada yada yada. So it's a very hard planet for humans as of right now to live on, but who knows, maybe in the future they will, I don't know, people will figure something out. You tell me. Yeah, so there we are. So anyways, long story short, I know like Mars is a very hot topic and people want to be traveling to Mars and building Mars bases and yada 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 yada. But I'm sorry, but once I saw astral projection involved in proving there was life on Mars, you kind of lost me. And it's not that I'm saying, I'm not gonna be all conspiracy brain like, oh, the CIA is trying to brainwash them. I'm saying like astral projection feels like a massive stretch. Now, to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure astral projection usually stays within at least my fantasy knowledge works, or my magic system works. Usually it works in the present, so I don't know if you can astral project to many years backwards. You tell me. But anyways, but what's the long story short? CIA spends money on various projects. I mean, just go look through like the bucket list, the long list. Well, I cannot speak English. Just look through the long list of stuff that they have, because there's a lot of stupid projects that they've worked out, okay? And a lot of them don't work. But that's the nature of science and experimentation. But anyways, to me, this just seems like something that CIA wanted to one-up, Soviet Union on or something. That's what it comes across as to me, because that's what happens in a lot of cases. There's also been a lot of projects that the Soviet Union has done that also did not lead to much as well. So, it has CIA here, but that's just one example of a project that didn't really go anywhere. And even as I'm showing you in like the modern sense, it's what NASA says they found. It's maybe it's more like possibly if the chemistry of Mars is a bit different, because I believe it's mostly I believe not mostly carbon. I don't remember what the chemistry of Mars's atmosphere was, but it's very, very, very different. So because also on Earth there's stuff like ozone layers, which could life forms be like us, and yada 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 yada. But perhaps I'll maybe do something else later on that. But you see here, I just find it funny that the article claims it confirmed life when it's like, dude, at least from the findings that we have at the moment, I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, at least for as much as I know about Mars, it's not very hospitable right now. Maybe a million years ago, I don't know. I know for sure there's stuff like you have rivers, you have like Olympus Mons that's on Mars, so maybe people conquered it over then, but who knows? But astral projection, come on. I mean, UAPs and stuff, I mean, we've literally seen it, but astral projection, you lost me on that one. But anyways, if you enjoyed this type of video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. But with that, my space adventurers, my space sailors, that's enough for me today, so ciao!